Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Sarvalokanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Itaye sarva vidyanam Shri Dakshinamurtaye namaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Apara Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shantarupinam Shri Chandrasekharendra Gurum Pranamami Mudanvaham Sadguru Charanarvindabhyan Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om नारायणं पद्मभुवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपदं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमथास्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमथास्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तन्तोटकं वार्तिककारमन्यानस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि. So in Vivekachudamani, the Sishya has asked Guru 7 questions. What is the bondage? How does the bondage arise? And how does the bondage get established? More importantly, how to get rid of the bondage? What is Atma? What is Anatma? And how to discriminate between Atma and Anatma. The Guru is going to answer all of Sishya's questions, but he is starting with what is Anatma question. And Guru has explained Anatma in a certain way. He basically divides the body into 3 bodies. One is Sthula Sharira, the gross body. The second is Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body. And the third is Karana Sharira, the causal body. The Sthula Sharira, the gross body, is the physical body that is tangible to everybody. So I can see my body, the other person also can perceive my body. The other, for even for the other person, my physical body is tangible. That is called as Sthula Sharira. It is made up of Panchabhutas, Panchikrita Panchabhutas. Then what is Sukshma Sharira? Sukshma Sharira is the subtle body. I can feel that there is a Sukshma Sharira, but my Sukshma Sharira others cannot feel. My Sukshma Sharira, my subtle body, is not tangible for others, but it is tangible for me. It is available for me. That is called as Sukshma Sharira. And Acharya says, Acharya divides the Sukshma Sharira into 8 parts. Ashtapuri. He says, what are those 8 cities, 8 parts, 8 puris? They are Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, Pranas, and Sukshma Panchabhutas, Antakaranam, Avidya, Kama, and Karma. So these are the 8 puris or Ashtapuris that constitute a person's Sukshma Shariram or subtle body. We have seen elaborately what are the Jnanendriyas, what are the Karmendriyas, what are the Pranas, what are the subtle elements, what constitute Antakaranam, what is Avidya, Kama, and Karma. In the last class, there are certain points to be finished, in order to wrap up the topic of Sukshma Sharira, so that we can then go into Karana Sharira. So to sum up, Acharya says, idam shariram shrunu sukshma sangitam lingam tu apanchikrita bhuta sambhavam savasanam karma phalanubhavakam swajnanato nadi rupadhiratmanaha. He says, idam shariram, the sukshma shariram, shrunu sukshma sangitam. It is denoted by sukshma sharira. It is known as sukshma sharira. Lingam, it is also called as linga sharira. And it is made up of apanchikrita bhuta sambhavam. It is made up of panchabhutas, but not the panchikrita panchabhutas, but apanchikrita panchabhutas. And more importantly, the sukshma sharira is savasanam. It carries the vasanas. Vasanas are previous experiences. It carries previous experiences not only from this janma but from previous janmas as well. Anadya vidya vasanaya. We say whenever we do sankalpam for avaniyavattam, we say anadya vidya vasanaya. So the vasanas are from anadi previous janmas without any birth, without any beginning. So savasanam. And also karma phala anubhavakam. It is responsible for all the actions, or it is responsible for all the experiences that we have. If we have punya karma, we experience sukham. If we have papa karma, we experience dukkham. And what correlates, what is the connection between punya karma that happened in my previous janma to the pleasant experiences that I am enjoying now? The link is the sukshma sharira. Swajnanato anadi rupadhiratmanaha. And because of ajnana, we consider the subtle body as our own self. Acharya says. And why? What part of Sukshma Sharira is responsible for identification of ourself? Here Acharya says, Antakaranam. Antakaranam chakshuradishu varshmani ahamityabhimanena tishtatyabhasa tejasa. He says, because of antahkarana, we identify ourselves with the sukshma sharira. You know, people who have some sense of rationalization, they can go until I am not this physical body. They can transcend their physical body without the help of Vedanta. But even after transcending their physical body, they get stuck with their sukshma sharira because they identify themselves with the mind. Because antakarana consists of four parts: mano, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, each more subtle than one another. So one person can easily transgress his physical body, but to think beyond the physical body, to think beyond his sukshma shariram is very, very difficult because of antakaranam. We consider our antakaranam as our own self. Why do we consider antakaranam as our own self? Let us take an example. Here, Acharya says it is because of abhasa tejasa. Abhasa. What is mean by abhasa? It means reflection or superimposition. What the meaning of the shloka is, because of abhasa, Because of the reflection of Atma in the Antakarana, people consider Antakarana as their own self. How to understand that? It is even more confusing. In night, during Paurnami, we see moon, nice bright moon, beautiful moon. But where does the light of the moon come from? Moon does not have its own light. Moon basically reflects sun's light onto the earth. But before the advance of science, what people used to think? People used to think the light that comes from the moon belonged to the moon. In the same way, we consider the light that is coming from the Antakarana as our own Swarupa. But in reality, whatever that comes from the Antakarana, that belonging sense, that I sense that belongs to the Antakarana, it is not the original light, but it is a reflected light reflected by the Antakarana. Just like how we think the moon, we used to think the moon has got its own light. The same way, we normally think that the I-ness, the sense of belonging, the sense of me, it belongs to Antakarana, but in originality, Antakarana is just a reflecting medium that reflects the original Chaitanya, which is the Atma. I hope it is clear for all of you guys. It will take another example. We have moonlight or sunlight or even electrical light. And in the ground, I have 4 tumblers filled with water. What do we see? We see the reflection of moon in all the 4 tumblers. What does that mean? Does it mean that the moon is present in all the 4 tumblers? No, there is only one moon. There is only one source of light. What we see on the 4 tumblers are just reflection of the light coming from moon or the sun. In the same way, whatever we see in our Antakarana is just a reflection of the original Chaitanya. It is just the reflection of the original Atman that is coming, reflection of the original Atman. But we get this knowledge only after studying the Vedanta. So that is why we need to come to Vedanta to understand that. I'm not telling psychologists are bad. I'm not telling psychologists they don't know anything. But in reality, they cannot go beyond the Sukshma Sharira. There is a thing called a psychologist suicide. I'm not bad mouthing psychologists. So if there are any psychologists in the group, please, accept my apologies. But it is the limitation of the study. People can go up to their Sukshma Sharira. Psychologists can describe what is mind, that is fine. But they cannot go what is beyond the mind. Even they cannot study their own mind properly. There is apparently a study that says psychologists are more prone, 3 times more prone to committing suicide than normal human beings. What is the use of that kind of psychology? If they themselves cannot understand their own mind, how can they understand your mind and solve all the problems of your mind? So these are all the things we need to think, we need to ponder. So coming to the subject, it is called as abhasa or reflection. Now we will get another question. What about my physical body? Why doesn't my physical body reflect Atman? And why is only Antakarana reflect Atman? The answer is analogous to this. When a normal sunlight falls onto a normal sand. We go to beach, there is sand, but we don't see reflection of sun in the sand, right? We don't see. But the same sand, which is nothing but silica, is made into a mirror. The mirror made up of the same sand can reflect sunlight more better, can reflect sunlight better than its original material, which is sand. In the same way, there are many
எனக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்றியா?
physical
நீ
substance
டைப் பண்ணு.
available,
ஃபர்ஸ்ட்
but
என்ன தேடலாம்?
only, can you please mute yourself? But only the mind, the antakarana, has got capacity to reflect the original Chaitanya. It is not that original Chaitanya is not available. It is always available. But Bhagavan has given mind the property to reflect the original consciousness. It is like we have electricity in live wire everywhere. You know, everywhere in the wire there is electricity. But we cannot take current from all the places in the wire. There is something called as plug point. Only if we put plugs onto the plug point, we can tap the electricity. So the electricity, even though it is omnipresent in the wire, it can be obtained only in the plug point. In the same way, even though Atman is omnipresent, Atman is present everywhere, Atman is obtained, Atman is tapped in one's antakaranam, and that is called as abhasa. It is a very important topic. We will be discussing abhasa later. We will be discussing abhasa in lot of other stutis. Nirabhasa yai namaha. There is a nama in Lalita Sahasranamam. So this the concept of abhasa, one has to be very, very clear. And extending that thought, Acharya says, ahankarasa vigneyaha karta bhokta bhimanyayam satvadi guna yogena chavasthatrayamashnute. In antakarana, what is responsible? So if we see overall, it is Sukshma Shariram we identify the most. And if we see in the Sukshma Shariram, we identify most with the Antakarana. If we see in Antakarana, we identify most with the Ahankara. Ahankarasa Vigneyaha Karta Bhokta Abhimanyayam. We consider Ahankara as Karta, and we consider ahankara as bhokta. What is karta and bhokta? Karta means doer, the one who does action. Bhokta means enjoyer, the one who enjoys the fruits of the action. So ahankara is considered as karta and bhokta. And how does ahankara operate? Satvadi guna yogena. Yoga, yunj dhatu, to unite. Ahankara is united with Satvadi guna. What are Satvadi guna? There are three gunas: Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. We are going to see about these three gunas later in the next class. But know up to this that Ahankara in the combination with the three gunas is considered as Karta and Bhokta. And this Ahankara undergoes three avasthas. What are the three avasthas? The waking up state, Jagrada avastha, the Sushupti avastha, the Swapna avastha, which is the dreaming state, and Sushupti avastha, which is the deep sleep state. So it is the culprit is ahankara. And so he goes on saying, so it is this point which is more relevant to us. Vishayanam anukulye Vishayanam anukulye sukha dukhi viparyaye sukam dukkham cha tat dharmaha sadanandasya natmanaha. He says, whatever the situations that we have, be it more pleasantful or painful, we consider favorable situations. We consider those situations which are favorable to our antakarana as pleasure situations, as giving pleasure. And we consider those situations which are unfavorable to antakarana as painful situations. What is the example? I see a gulab jamun in front of me. It gives me pleasure. It gives my mind pleasure. So I consider eating gulab jamun as a pleasureful thing. Maybe it is doing bad for my body, but that doesn't matter. My antakarana, if my ahankara likes it, I like that thing. If my ahankara does not like it, then I hate that thing. The converse is also true. There can be something that is painful for my body, but because my antakarana likes it, I consider that as a favorable situation. There are several examples. Childbirth is one such example. We all are aware how much pain a mother undergoes during childbirth. Even though the physical body undergoes a lot of pain, the antakarana loves the product. The antakarana likes the concept of being giving birth to a baby. That is why the mother can do it over and over and over again, even though she undergoes a lot of pain. So there are situations where the physical body likes it, the antakarana hates it. There are situations where it is painful for the physical body, but still antakarana likes it and we do it. What about all those freedom fighters? They undergo excruciating physical pain. It is completely unfavorable for their body, but because their antakarana likes it, they love to undergo. There are several people who are ready to even die for proving their cause. It is a great pain to their body, but because of their association with antakarana, they do it. And Shastra says you can train your antakarana to even like the most unfavorable of the situations. That is in our hand, because if we associate ourselves with the antakarana, it is not possible. But if we associate, but if we know ourselves to be the master of antakarana, then we can make antakarana like something, we can make antakarana hate something. It is in our hand. So Shastra say the identification is a very, very important thing. If we identify ourselves with the antakarana, then changing antakarana is not possible, because if we change antakarana, we are thinking we are changing ourselves and nobody would like to change themselves. But if we consider ourselves as the master of antakarana, then we can make our antakarana like even the most unfavorable of the situations. Ahankara vimudhatma, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So we can work on it, even the most painful of the situations, just like how the mother consider even the most painful of the situations, that is the childbirth, as pleasurable. We can make, by training our mind, by dissociating ourselves from the antakarana, we can tune our antakarana to be ever happy, says Shastra. So happy and sad situations, they belong only to ego. It has nothing to do with one's real self. And that is the Balapada of Vedanta. And more importantly, the limitations of the body can never affect I. Here, I mean body. By body, I mean both Sthula Sharira and Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira. Acharya says, Andhatva Mandatvam Andhatva Mandatva Patutva Dharmaha Saugunya Vaigunya Pashanti Chakshushaha बाधिर्यमूकत्वमुखास्तथैव श्रोत्रादिधर्मान तु वेत्तुरात्मनः. There are a lot of people who have an inferiority complex. They are not confident on how they look. All those beauty products, are an example of how to market on people's in confidence, how to market on people's inferiority complex about their own self image. And we always have to understand that whatever problems that the body has, whatever limitations that the body has, andhatvam, even if someone does not have any eyes, andhatvam literally means blind. Even if someone is blind, mandatvam, even if someone is developmentally challenged, Patutva dharmaha saugunya vaigunya. Even if somebody looks so beautiful or not so beautiful according to themselves, all those things are belonging to my body, but I am not my body. I am something superior than my body. That is the thing that we always have in our mind. Most of the problems happens, most of the mental issues happen because of the inferiority complex, and that complex comes because of our misidentification with our body. We either consider ourselves as the body or our physical body, that is Stula Sharira, or we consider ourselves as the Sukshma Sharira. We can think, hey, that person is so bright. I am not as bright as him. That person can solve all the math equations so fast. I am not as quick as him. That person has got beautiful communication skills, but I don't have that communication skills. So those things lead to depression. Those things lead to sleepless night. You have to go and see a psychologist. But Shastra say, hey, there is absolutely no reason for you to feel any lower than what you are, because you are Purnam. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. You yourselves are so complete. Whatever thing that is happening with your body, it belongs to your body, but you are not your body, but you are something much more than your body. The limitations of the body does not affect the real I. Shrotradi dharma natu vetturatmanaha. Atmanaha natu vetti. Whatever the limitations, it does not, it cannot, it will never be associated with my real self. That is the strong conviction we all have to have. So that finishes up the Sukshma Sharira part. And now we are going to go to the Karana Shariram, which is the causal body. What is Karana Shariram? It is that body that we take during our deep sleep state. In our waking up state, in our Jagrad Avastha, we identify mostly with our Sthula Shariram. in our swapna state, in our swapnavastha, in our dreaming state, we identify with our subtle body. And in the karana sharira, in the deep sleep state, we identify ourselves with the karana sharira, the causal body. What does Acharya have to say about this karana sharira? Avyaktametat trigunairniruktam tatkaranam nama shariramatmanaha sushuptiretasya vibhaktyavastha pralina sarvendriya buddhivrittihi avyaktam. This karana shariram is unmanifested. That is why we don't experience anything in our deep sleep state. In our stula sharira, in our waking up state, we experience all the things that are surrounding us. During our sleep, during our dream state, we experience all the things that are in our dream. You know, even in dream, there is a dream lion, there is a dream car, there is a dream BMW that I'm chasing after, all the things we experience. But what do we experience during our deep sleep state? Nothing. But there is an experiencer. So that nothingness is called as avyaktam, unmanifest form. All the things exist, but it exists as a seed form. It exists in an unmanifest form. Tat karanam nama shariramatmanaha. That is why it is called as karana shariram. Karanam, cause. A seed is the karanam, cause of a tree. We don't see tree in the seed, but the seed has got potential to become a tree. In the same way, even though in our karana sharira, everything is unmanifested, everything is an unmanifest state, karana sharira has got potential to manifest your antakaranam. That is why when we wake up, all the thoughts that we have the day before, it comes to our mind. After a deep sleep, you know, if all the thoughts, if all the sukshma sharira get dissolved, then the next day we should not remember anything what happened on my previous day. But fortunately or unfortunately, we do remember what happened on the previous day. We do remember this is my husband, this is my wife, this is my father, this is my child. We remember everything because all the thoughts, all the stula sharira, sukshma sharira exists in karana sharira in an unmanifest seed form. And Acharya says, Sushuptihi etasya vibhakti. You see that Karana Sharira in the Sushupti avastha. Pralina Sarvendriya Buddhi Vrittihi. All Indriyas, Buddhi, Antahkarana, everything goes and merges, get dissolved into the causal body, and next day they all spring back. Pralina is called as getting dissolved in. Pralina Sarvendriya Buddhi Vrittihi. And he continues Sarva Prakara Pramiti Prashantihi Bhijatvanavasthiti Reva Buddhehi Sushuptiretasya Khila Pratitihi Kinchinna Vedmiti Jagat Prasiddhe. What happened in Sushupti? Whoever be the person who has got a deep sleep, you wake him up, ask him, how did you sleep? What did you see in your deep sleep? Everybody says, I don't know. Kinchinna vedmi iti jagat prasiddhe. Everybody, irrespective of country, irrespective of religion, in deep sleep state, nobody sees anything, but they all experience an ananda. If we ask that person, how was your sleep? He say, I slept peacefully. I slept so happily. He has not experienced that happiness. He has not experienced that happiness while in the deep sleep state. But the next day, he knows that he slept very peacefully. He knows that he slept very happily. And that is the nature of our Karana Sharira. And we are seeing this Karana Sharira Atman, the Atman that identifies with the Karana Sharira is called as Prajna. Srishtikartriya Jagadguru. Vishwarupa Jagarani Swapanti Taijasatmika Shupta Pragnatmika, says Lalita Sahasranamam. In Jagradavastha, it is called as Vishwa. In Swapnavastha, it is called as Taijasa. In Sushupti Avastha, Shupta Pragnya. That Atman that identifies with the Sushupti Avastha is called as Pragnya. And Sahasranamam does not end with that. It says Turiya Sarvavastha Vivarjita. So next we are going to see Turiyam, the nature of Atman. We all, the Jagradavastha, the Sthula Sharira, the Swapnavastha, the Sukshma Sharira, the Karanavastha, the Karana Sharira, all these things come under Anatma. And we have to have the firm belief that I am not all these things, but I am a witness of all these things. So that is what we are going to learn in forthcoming classes. There is another topic that we need to discuss before discussing Atma Swarupam, and that topic is Maya. So next class we are going to see about Maya. Maya is a great topic. Books and books and books have been written about Maya. Books and books and books have been written about Trigunas, Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. We are going to see Maya and the three gunas in the next class. And after that, we will see about Atma Swarupam. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.